Welcome to the cybersecurity community of SLIIT YouTube channel. In this video series you will be going to learn Bash scripting from scratch. What is a shell? An operating system is made of many components, but its two prime components are kernel and shell. A kernel is at the nucleus of a computer. It makes the communication between the hardware and software possible. While the kernel is the innermost part of an operating system, a shell is the outermost one. A shell in a Linux operating system takes input from you in the form of commands, processes it, and then gives an output. It is the interface through which a user works on the programs, commands, and scripts. A shell is accessed by a terminal which runs it. When you run the terminal, the shell issues a command prompt, usually $, where you can type your input, which is then executed when you hit the enter key. The output or the result is thereafter displayed on the terminal. The shell wraps around the delicate interior of an operating system, protecting it from accidental damage. Hence the name shell. Types of shell. There are two main shells in Linux. One, the Bourne shell. The prompt for this shell is $, and its derivatives are listed below. POSIX shell also is known as SH. Corn shell also knew as SH. Bourne again shell also knew as Bash, most popular. 2. The C shell. The prompt for this shell is %, and its subcategories are. C shell also is known as CSH. Top C shell also is known as TCSH. We will discuss Bash shell-based shell scripting in this tutorial. What is Bash scripting? Bash scripting is writing a series of commands for the shell to execute. It can combine lengthy and repetitive sequences of commands into a single and simple script, which can be stored and executed anytime. This reduces the effort required by the end user. These commands are a mixture of commands we would normally type ourselves on the command line, such as ls or cp for example, and commands we could type on the command line but generally wouldn't. You'll discover these over the next few pages. An important point to remember though is, anything you can run normally on the command line can be put into a script and it will do exactly the same thing. Similarly, anything you can put into a script can also be run normally on the command line and it will do exactly the same thing. You don't need to change anything. Just type the commands as you would normally and they will behave as they would normally. It's just that instead of typing them at the command line we are now entering them into a plain text file. In this sense, if you know how to do stuff at the command line then you already know a fair bit in terms of Bash scripting. It is convention to give files that are Bash scripts an extension of .sh, myscript.sh for example. As you would be aware, and if you're not maybe you should consider reviewing our Linux tutorial. Linux is an extensionless system, so a script doesn't necessarily have to have this characteristic in order to work. Different between shell scripting and Bash scripting. Shell scripting and Bash scripting are not the same thing, as other shells exist such as sh that can be used to execute a script. A script intended to be executed by Bash should be labeled as a Bash script. The terms are often used interchangeably because Bash, with its extended functionality as compared to sh, is the one most commonly used to execute user scripts in many distributions. However, there are other shells such as the Corn, KSH, C shell, CSH, and the Z shell, ZSH. SH was the original Unix shell developed by Stephen Bourne. However, Debian-based systems and Ubuntu considers Dash as their SH shell. SH is actually symlinked to Dash. In Debian and Ubuntu, because of the speed of SH, it is more often used for critical system procedures and for executing key scripts at startup. For more detail see the Ubuntu wiki. Bash stands for the Bourne again shell and was developed later by Brian Fox and much extended the original SH. Fox and others' development of Bash was an important part of the GNU Project. See this great discussion of the history of Bash for more information. It is important to note that both sh and Bash, as used in Ubuntu and other distributions, are POSIX compliant, which means they subscribe to a number of standards about how commands are executed in the shell. This is to ensure that the results of scripts used in the OS can be predicted reliably, and that the behavior of the shell can be kept within those POSIX parameters, as that is particularly important for developers. For more information on the standards, see the official documentation. Often shell scripts have the suffix .sh, even though they are intended to be executed as bash scripts, and have hashtag /bin/bash at the top of the script. It actually does not matter whether the script is called script.sh or my.script, what matters is whether the call to the interpreter is /bin/sh or /bin/bash. Shell scripts can also be called on the command line with either sh or bash. However, it is important to note that the results can be different depending on which interpreter is called, as not all bash commands will work in sh, whereas most sh commands will work in bash. In general, most users will want to use /bin/bash for their scripts so they can take advantage of the extended feature set. System scripts can be executed with /bin/sh if it is required. Let us understand the steps in creating a shell script. 1. Create a file using a 6 editor, or any other editor. Name script file with extension .sh. 2. Start the script with hashtag /bin/bash. 3. Write some code. 4. Save the script file as filename.sh. 5. Give execution mode mod and x file name. 6. For executing the script type bash filename.sh. Hashtag is an operator called shebang which directs the script to the interpreter location. So, if we use hashtag /bin/bash, the script gets directed to the Bourne again shell. Let's create a small script. So, after coming into the directory that we are creating our script, create a file and save it with .sh extension. In here I'm saving the file as first script.sh. As we have discussed earlier, first of all we need to declare the interpreter that we are using. It is hashtag /bin/bash. We will be discussing more advanced content after this video. After declaring the interpreter, we can create a script to print something. Okay, we'll write something like hello world. And save it. Try to run our script using /. But it won't execute because it doesn't have proper execution format. To check that, use lsl and you can see it doesn't have execution option. To give it, use mod and x first script.sh and then check whether we have given it properly. Finally execute it using /first script.sh and finally it works. Thanks for watching. Hit a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe us for more educational content.